police chief is fired for trying to reform a police department, Charlottesville. Let me go ahead and give you the highlight. Let's put up the chief, all right? A black police chief in Charlottesville. And I'm going to take you to a black firefighter in Rochester, are calling out their respective departments for racism. So you're looking at Chief Brackney. Chief Brackney had been hired in the wake of the infamous Unite the Right rally back in 2017. Remember that? That's when white supremacists descended on Charlottesville and made it nationally synonymous with hate. City officials wanted her to restore public trust in a force that badly fumbled the mayhem, modernized the department, and addressed racial inequities in policing that many in the city felt. The march revealed. That was a job. That's a tough job. It's a tough job to do. You go into a racist environment, you're trying to root out racism, create equity, bridge the gap between cop and community. It's a hell of a job. It's a hell of a thing to do. They fired her. Let's get into the details. Chief Brackney said the revelations about the 15-member SWAT team were glaring examples of what needed to be reformed in the department's culture. But when she moved to discipline, when she moved to do her job, when she moved to hold cops accountable to the rules and the law, some of the members, it set off a chain of events that led to her firing months later. A deputy had just briefed her on an internal probe of the SWAT team. It found widespread issues, including officers making racist remarks and one apparently showing a trainee how to hide criminal misconduct. Another, according to the internal report obtained by the Washington Post, all right? In a text, one disgruntled member wrote they should take out command staff. That means kill them, okay? A comment Chief Brackney took seriously, but some officers felt, this is just people with guns blowing off steam, chief. So the chief filed a $10 million lawsuit against the city and 10 officials this summer, alleging racial and gender discrimination, and that her firing was retaliation for her efforts to root out problematic policing. Now, let me tell you why we know this is vengeful, okay? Typically, if a department actually wants to let a cop go who's in executive leadership, those cops don't get fired, even under the most extreme of circumstances. They are allowed to do what? Resign. Shoot somebody in the back, you can resign. Kill an unarmed black or brown body, resign. You're allowed typically to just resign. Well, she wasn't allowed that. They did not give her that opportunity. They decided to just fire her, to make an example out of her. Let's put up the picture of the mayor. This is Mayor Lloyd Snook. He said Chief Brackney's termination was about her lack of effective leadership, not reform efforts. He said rank and file officers had lost faith in her and were leaving, creating crisis. Keep his picture up. You know, he's actually right. That mayor is actually correct, because the rank and file are racist SOBs. Yes, this police chief left a bad taste in his rank and file. Once again, when have you ever known a mayor to come against the police chief, even during the most extreme of circumstances? So not only did she get fired, not allowed an opportunity to resign, the mayor comes against her. The officers are backing the mayor. You see, they're willing to eat their own, so to speak. There's no blue line for black folk. Please understand this. Please understand, when you put on that blue uniform, you are still a black person in that blue uniform. I hope you understand that. I hope you realize the culture that you are adopting as your own. I hope you realize they're willing to do this to you. There's more. Let's put up a picture of the firefighter, okay? Meanwhile, let me take you to Rochester, New York. Fire captain allegedly pressured Black firefighter Jared Jones, and we hope to have him on the show next week, to go to a party that mocked Juneteenth with racist imagery and featured images of elected officials with spikes running through them. Jones felt immediately uneasy, and his uneasiness intensified as he walked up the driveway and noticed a large cutout of former President Donald Trump, as it is against department rules to attend partisan political events. They forced him to do it. According to the notice, there were 2 large Juneteenth celebration flags decorating the lawn with buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken prominently displayed in an apparent use of the racist trope recycled by bigots to mock Black Americans. At one point, unable to leave and unsure of how to react, Jones expressed to his fellow firefighters that he felt like he was in the film Get Out. You were, sir. Exactly where you were at. Okay? I'm glad you made it out alive, to be quite honest with you. There's more. The filing further stated that someone at the party also appeared to have been impersonating Monroe County legislator Rachel Barnhart, acting in a sexual manner as the crowd taunted her, yelling explicit comments. These are some sick SOBs. Jones was eventually able to leave the party and later went to a superior to raise the issue and ask them to address it in the filing. They said they would, but Jones was left shocked when he was assigned to work with the same captain for his next shift 4 days after raising the issue of racism, prompting him to pursue further action. The notice said Jones was to leave after suffering emotional distress and fear of retaliation from Crowley and others. Let's put up their pictures. Okay. So Jeff on the left was the fire captain who pressured Jones to go to the party. Felipe Hernandez Jr. on the right is the fire chief of Rochester Fire Department. There is a statement. Let's keep this up. Hernandez said in the statement, the allegations are serious and the behavior described is unacceptable and an affront to everyone who works with the RFD and City Hall. He said an investigation had concluded and disciplinary action was sent to the supervisor this week. He said the supervisor would remain on suspension until the action was received and accepted, but did not expand on what action was actually taken. Oh, as I've said many times before, don't fall for the, we take these things seriously. It will not be tolerated. And every single time they say it will not be tolerated, they only say that because it is being tolerated. Because if you don't tolerate it, guess what you don't have to say in your statement? It won't be tolerated. You know why you don't have to say that in your statement if you don't tolerate it? Because I just told you what the hell I did. That shows you I don't tolerate it. Sharon, thoughts here.
What kind of party is this? What, no watermelon? I mean, exactly. They had the fried chicken, the Juneteenth flags, the Trump cutout. Where's the watermelon? The whole thing is just silly season. Stop issuing these stupid statements. And let's head back down to Charlottesville, shall we? Let's head on down there, because if they have an opening, I know a captain in Baltimore, Alicia White, would be happy to take that job. She's about the only one who could fill it, okay, with what's going on down there. This whole thing about how one bad apple and, there's you were right. And you talked about it with politicians, you talked about it with police before, okay? When you allow this kind of nonsense, okay, and I heard a minority name there too, who was allowing it and issuing a statement. When you allow this kind of nonsense, you're all bad, okay? Until you clean it up, you're all bad.
Yeah, well said. All right.